C is a popular language for software development because of its simplicity of expression, the compactness of the code and the wide range of applications. C allows the programmer a huge set of operations from high level down to a very low level, approaching that of assembly language. At the same time, it is very easy to write a program that crashes or gives unexpected output due to some small mistakes. The C compiler thinks that the programmer actually wanted the program to behave that way. So, the compiler issues only warnings over some lapses that can be fatal. These are not flagged as errors. It puts a great deal of responsibility on the programmer. The creation, compilation and execution of a program involves the following major steps. First, we need an editor that is used to write the source code. Then a preprocessor that replaces the hash include and hash define statements with equivalent code. Then a compiler that generates the assembly language code. This is given to an assembler that generates the object code, and then a linker that links the code with library object files and generates the executable code in machine language, and then the loader that loads this executable code in the memory and runs it. In the early days, C programs were created using separate editing softwares, and compilation and execution was always done directly with commands at the command line. Now, there are integrated development environments or IDEs that help us in this process. An IDE is a software application that makes the software development easy for computer programmers. Turbo C is an integrated development environment for the C programming language from Borland International. It includes a source code editor, a preprocessor, a compiler, an assembler, a linker and a loader. Creating C programs using an IDE such as the Borland and Turbo C compilers is an easy job if we have just a single source code file. But C was really designed as a language for creating large applications and operating systems. This inevitably leads to complex structures of interlinked source code files. Each of these files, including library files, can be independently compiled to create object files, which can be linked together to create an executable program file that can be loaded into memory and run. For major applications, the management of this collection of source code and object code files is the responsibility of the programmer. One way of doing this is by using a command called make, using a file that contains the details about sequence of instructions to be carried out. This file is called a make file. All commercial C implementations support the make process, whereas some IDEs like Turbo C have other methods of controlling the development process. We will examine these methods briefly in this section. The source code files are created as text files in a text editor. Source code files can access program libraries using one or more hash include statements at the top of the file containing the call to the function main. When such a file is compiled, it is first passed to a preprocessor that is built into the compiler. The preprocessor replaces the hash include statements with the text from the corresponding header files. These header files can be from the libraries provided by the compiler vendor or created by the user. The preprocessor also replaces the parts of the code that is called macros marked with hash define statements. For example, if the program has a statement hash define pi 3.1416, then all occurrences of the word pi in the program is replaced by the number 3.1416. The augmented source code is then passed on to the compiler, where syntax and logical errors are identified. The compiler issues either error or warning messages for the errors and potential errors that are identified. An error means that the compilation process cannot proceed without correcting that error. A warning means that the programmer has been warned about a potential issue in the program. Most of the C compilers allow the programmer to control what kind of warnings are to be issued, but errors are always displayed. If the file is compiled without errors, it is converted by the compiler to assembler code, and the built-in assembler then generates a separate .obj file. It is useful to have such an intermediate file because this file does not need to be compiled again if we want to make some small change in another file. The linker is then invoked to link together all the .obj files, including the .obj files from the libraries, to create an executable file. The linker detects errors such as misspelling the name of a library function in the source code or using the incorrect number of type of parameters for a function. Finally, if the program has been successfully linked, the loader can be called from within the IDE to execute the program. Components of C programs. Before we learn more about compiling a C program, let us take a quick review of the basic structure of a C program and the scope of the variables. It has a single main function that can appear anywhere in the source code. Execution starts at the first statement in this function and continues to the last statement. Declarations and identifiers declared outside the scope of any function are global in scope, and a variable declared inside a function, including main, is local to that function. The executable part of a C program consists entirely of declarations and functions, with the main function being defined like any other function. The functions may include numerical operations, keyboard input operations like scanf, and screen output operations like printf. These functions are contained in a set of libraries supplied with the compiler. The numerical functions, generic input and output functions, and other generic functions required by any implementation are contained in the standard library. In addition to these functions, the program may have to use some functions specific to the hardware or specific to the application. These functions are usually contained in another series of .lib files provided by the compiler vendor. Implementation specific C libraries are generally made up of two files. One is the library itself, a binary file containing the compiled code for the functions and declarations that make up the library as a .lib file. The second is a header file for the library, a text file containing the declarations for the functions in the library with the extension .h. The header file contains the header for each function in the corresponding library and has the same name as the library. There will be a series of header files reflecting a logical grouping of functions. For example, a complex.h for complex number operations or alloc.h for memory management. To use implementation specific and third party libraries, a programmer adds the appropriate header file or files as include statements at the top of her program with a hash include statement like hash include stdio.h or hash include strings.h. Note that the file name can appear either in double quotes or in between less than and greater than symbols. Once a header file is included, we can use any of the functions defined in those libraries as desired in our program. This makes the programs easily portable across platforms. The function prototypes defined in the header files remain the same. So, in most of the cases, porting to another compiler or platform will not require any changes to the source code, as any necessary changes are taken care of within the libraries. The programmer just uses the library files available for that particular platform, because the actual implementations for those functions are in the library files. In some other cases, porting will involve changing the name of one or more header files in the include statements, like strings.h to string.h or maths.h to maths.h, for example. Prototyping in C. The concept of prototyping is important in the development of C programs. Prototyping is the process of including early in the source code the headers for all functions used by the program. These serve as templates for the functions. Including prototypes allows the compiler to quickly check that all calls to predefined and user defined functions happen the right way, using the right number and type of parameters and using the correct return type. This speeds up the compilation process, particularly where a large number of external libraries are being used. For predefined functions, prototypes are available in the header files that are included. For functions defined within the program, it is the job of the programmer to place appropriate prototypes at the start of the program. This is a simple task that involves making a copy of each function definition and placing them immediately below the include statements at the beginning of the file. For example, consider the following function that takes a single integer value and prints out its square: void square int number, int number squared equal to number into number, printf the square of %d is %d slash n number squared. Its prototype would be void square in number, and this would appear at the start of the program file. Prototyping is a good programming practice, but is not enforced generally. Most compilers that allow warnings and errors to be controlled by the programmer regard lack of prototyping as a non-fatal error that can be turned off. Makefiles and project files. C was designed to be a production language in which large applications, including operating systems, could be created. Large programs are often split into small modules that are compiled separately into object code as each module is completed. Once a module has been compiled, the linker will use the object code for that module when other modules of the program that use functions from that module are compiled. If the source code for the compiled section has been modified, the linker will recompile it before compiling sections which are dependent upon it. Project files. In an integrated development environment like TurboC's IDE, this process is generally managed automatically by the compiler and linker. However, there are circumstances where we will need to override this process. Sometimes we will need to tell the linker what files to use during the link and how to link them. Compilers like TurboC support a method for doing this within the IDE called project files. A project file will contain information about compiler, linker and library options, the directory path of included files, a list of all files making up the project, and any special options, for example, use of the assembler. Makefiles. C was defined in a time when almost everything was done as text commands at the command line and there were no graphical interfaces. The use of makefiles made compilation easy at the command line. All major C compilers support the make process. Different compilers have different command line options, and hence we will often find C source code supplied with several makefiles, one for each of the major compilers on a particular platform. This adds to the portability of the program. If there are some parts of a program that is platform specific, we can have different files that implement those parts for different platforms. The makefile can ensure that the correct set of files is compiled and linked for each platform. The contents of a makefile are essentially the same as the project file described above, but it can also include file management commands such as deleting temporary files. The makefiles are used by the make program. Each command in the makefile is designed to invoke the preprocessor, compiler, assembler or linker with appropriate parameters, file names and paths or switches. When you invoke the make program, it uses by default any file called makefile in the current directory. The user can also specify the makefile name, for example, by entering makefile file1.mak. Makefiles are text files that can be created and modified in any text editor. Comments can be included to tell the programmer what each section is supposed to be doing. These usually start with the hash symbol. See this example. The first line is made up of a comment alone, but the second line has a comment and a command. First line hash link all files together. Second line tcc -c -ms myprog.c # compile the main program. Makefile can also use macros so that we do not have to make changes in many lines of the program if we are changing the compiler or the compiler options. For example, if we define the compiler and the compiler flags as follows: cc equal to tcc, that is a compiler macro that says cc refers to turbo C command line compiler. Capital C flags equal to -wall is a compiler flag to issue all warnings. We can later use them as $cc or $c flags in lines following these in the makefile. For example, $cc $c flags test.c. For the full syntax of the makefile for a particular compiler, you should examine the compiler's documentation. Warnings and errors in C. In languages like Pascal, programs are either correct or wrong. In C, it is more complex than this, because C expects the user to be an experienced programmer who knows what she is doing. In addition to errors, the compiler issues warnings if it feels that there is a chance that something is going wrong, and it is up to the user to decide whether to change the program or not. Errors. Errors in the source code include syntax errors as well as some problems associated with disk and memory access. C compilers do not stop compilation at each error. They try to move ahead in the program and displays a list of errors. There will usually be an upper limit to the number of such errors, at which point the compiler will stop and let the programmer start on the process of finding and correcting the errors that have been identified. Other errors will occur during the linking phase. A misspelled function call in the main program, for instance, will not be detected until the linker attempts to bind all the predefined functions in the various header files. It is only when the linker has checked for the name of the function in the main file, in any of the separately compiled object files and in the listed library files that we will know that it has not been found. Only then can the error be confirmed and the appropriate error message like undefined symbol function name is generated. Warnings. Errors provide the programmer with no options apart from correcting them. Warnings, on the other hand, offer the programmer a hint or suggestion that something may be going wrong with a particular piece of code, though it is syntactically correct. Warnings can come from various kinds of problems. One is things that the compiler's designers or the ANSYS specification consider good C programming practice. These include indicating where a function does not return a value and should therefore be declared as void without a type. Second is things that might cause runtime errors, such as assigning a value to an uninitialized pointer. Most compilers offer the programmer the option of ignoring some or all warnings. Beyond this, some compilers, including Turbo C, allow the programmer to control which warnings will be displayed. In effect, this allows the experienced C programmer to tune out those warnings that she is aware of and is deliberately generating. In the real world, this process of development does not happen in one go. It would be an iterative process. The programmer writes the program, compiles it and runs it and checks if it works as expected. If the program does not behave as expected or if it does not give the expected output, she tries to figure out what went wrong. She finds the error, fixes it and compiles the program again and runs it again. This process is called debugging. There are debugging tools that make this process easy. They help us in figuring out what exactly went wrong and where. Let us summarize what we learned in this section. We learned to describe the compilation process in C, identified the major components of C programs. We got an understanding of the role of libraries and header files in C, learned the significance of prototyping in C. We got an idea about the structure and use of makefiles and project files in C, and we learned the difference between errors and warnings when compiling and linking in C. Here are some exercise questions for you. 1. Describe the stages involved in creating a standalone C application in an integrated development environment. 2. define the prototypes for the following three functions: print value int x, printf the value of x is %d, comma x. Second one, print value int x float y, function to print two values, printf x equal to %d and y equal to %f, comma x, comma y. Third one, float pi underscore it, float x, function to return the value of x times p, float pi equal to 3.1472, return float x star pi. There are some books for your reference: Boland International, Turbo C and C++ Users Guide, Kernighan and Ritchie, The C Programming Language, 2nd edition, Prentice Hall, 1988. Kernighan and Plager, The Elements of Programming Style, 2nd edition, McGraw-Hill, 1978. With this, we end our discussion on compilation and execution in C. We will meet again discussing some other section in C programming. Till then, bye.